Coach, it's good to have you on. But real quick, before we get started, I just would like you to maybe give your thoughts about the team so far. I know they went down to Pensacola. What was your thoughts early on from this team?
Yeah, anytime you go down to Florida, you're going to play really good teams. So we knew what we were getting into, and that's what we want. We want to play the best teams available, and so always a good measure and stick for us to be able to go down and play Pensacola and Mineral Area. Mineral Area is a Missouri team, but we played them the past couple seasons here in the Shoals. So yeah, definitely on Thursday, we show up to play Pensacola and and we were really good. Ended up winning 14-1. Um, hitting the ball all over the place. Uh, Will Turner and Tyler Wilson both on the mound threw really well, and we were able to end that game in 5 innings. So really starting a season with a lot of momentum. The schedule was changed a little bit because of the rain and everything that was coming in on Fridays. So we did not play on Friday and had a day to relax, a little bit of beach time. And I guess, unfortunately, that wasn't what we needed because as we showed up on Saturday, uh, really was not the same team offensively. We ended up striking 18 times on Saturday and got beat in a 4-1 in the 3-2 game against Mineral Area and in Pensacola. We did not hit, but in all areas of the game, what we did on the mound, what we did defensively, just running the bases, all those things that we spent a lot of time on. I mean, we honestly, it looked like we were in mid-season form as far as doing everything else. So just did not hit. So disappointing to drop 2 games, especially after playing so well in game one. But still a lot of things to kind of build on, some things that we did well, and also from a position player standpoint, we played 17 guys. All 17 guys got into the game, and so that's always something that you want to try to do earlier in the year as well, is to kind of give guys the opportunity to play and to get those first at bats, real at bats as I call them, over with. We play a lot in the fall, but spring is a little different. The at bats mean something, and everything is I guess for real. And so played 17 guys, so that was good.
Well, I guess we'll get started with the interview. Well, Coach, last season, Northwest Shoals went 37 and 23 and was in the top half of a pretty good conference. This team with a lot of experience in its first season of postseason eligibility. Obviously, took a big jump for this young program. This year's Northwest Shoals team has a lot of fresh faces and a lot of guys who were here uh, for the building of a new program are now gone. So, how do you prepare this team not only to meet those expectations, but how do you prepare the young guys on this roster to meet the standard that's already been set?
Yeah, I will tell you, and you're right. This is year three, and so in year three we do have a little bit more balance between freshman and sophomore, and really that's what you want in junior college. You want to have the same number as freshmen as you do sophomore, and we are to that point. So we did lose, a lot of those guys, and last year were sophomores, of course, but we were able to bring in some transfer sophomores as well. So as I was saying, we do have that pretty equal between freshmen and sophomores. So a lot of new faces, but a lot of those guys do have experience. Whether that was at another junior college or maybe it was is at a 4-year school where they redshirted but was still a part of a Division One team. So a lot of new faces, but guys that have a little bit of experience as well. And also to answer that question, everybody that we play will have a lot of new faces, and that's just kind of the way junior college works. It's an opportunity for those young guys to get experience, to improve, and then play right away. And they're going to make some mistakes early on, but we'll try to learn from them, coach them up a little bit, and by the time we get in conference, hopefully we'll be in a pretty good place and have a good idea about the guys that are ready to play at that point.
Well, Northwest Shoals went in the Pensacola last week, as you mentioned early on, and won the first game 14-1, but dropped the next two games. As a coach, how do you overcome that and manage players' emotions through a long season that contain many highs and lows?
Well, definitely you learn from winning, but you also learn from losing games as well. And I think again, when you're talking about young players at the college level, we beat a team on 14-1 on Thursday, and sometimes maybe, hey, we've got this figured out. We're going to be able to show up on Saturday and do the same thing. So I do believe there was a little bit of that. Uh, and in baseball, you definitely can approach the game that way just because, if they have the right guy on the mound that's having a good day, any team can beat any team. So I do think there was a little bit of, maybe being a little bit too confident after, winning big on Thursday and just not bringing back that focus as we needed on Saturdays. So that was a part of it. And again, just that's definitely a teachable moment because we play once we get in conference, we play the same team 4 straight games, and every game is a new game, and you've got to learn to be able to approach the game that way. And so definitely a teachable moment. We definitely wanted to win all three of those games without a doubt. I would rather win and be able to teach from that than from losing, but that is a part of it as well. So just kind of losing those games and hopefully being able to learn and take some experience from that and what it's going to be able to take to, to win the series on a weekend.
Well, Coach, I know you work a lot with the pitchers and spend a lot of time with them. What should fans expect out of the bullpen for the 2025 Northwest Shoals Patriots, and what are some of the guys that we should look out for?
Yeah, I do believe that's going to be one of our strengths. And in the past 2 years, we've definitely had some guys that can pitch. We've had some talented guys, but probably we have not had the depth that we've needed. And I do think that's one of our strengths this time. And we're still trying to really figure out what that's going to look like. Who are going to be the guys that are going to be starting on the weekend? Who are the guys that are going to be out of the bullpen? Going into the season, we do have an idea, but there's still definitely some opportunities for guys to kind of fill those roles. Injuries always have uh, an impact on that. There's going to be guys who, may start one weekend and then not quite ready to come back for the following weekend. So everybody's got to be prepared. Uh, if it's their opportunity to start on a weekend to be prepared for doing that. But we did lose. We play a 3-game series last year, and we lost 2 out of those 3 guys with Michael Pfeiffer and Garrett Talega. Hayes Harrison would be one of the guys that's returning. Uh, and Hayes plays a big role for us, as a position player and as a pitcher. So we've got to make sure that we take care of him early in the season and not try to overdo him too much. But Will Turner is definitely one guy, a left-handed pitcher that transferred in uh, from Auburn that threw game 1 for us last weekend in Pensacola. Did a great job. So he's a left-handed arm that will definitely uh, call on quite a bit. Tyler Wilson is going to get an opportunity this weekend. Tyler pitched out of the bullpen for us last weekend, did a great job. And with us playing 4 games this weekend, he's going to have an opportunity to start one of those games. Brody McCain, a redshirt freshman that's coming off Tommy John, is a guy that we've always been very high on. Uh, and so he was able to get that first start uh, last weekend, and he'll get another opportunity this weekend. Bryce Sanders was other left-handed arm that was a weekend starter for us as a freshman. Uh, Worked more out of the bullpen for us last year, uh, but he's going to get an opportunity to start this weekend as well. And then Brian Henson, Ryan Strachan are 2 guys that threw a lot for us last year that will be counted on out of the bullpen. Kyle Woolridge, Cam Habata is a left-hander. Cam uh, threw, I think it was three in his last weekend, struck out seven guys, just really threw well and has really come along here in the past year and really and a half and just progressed to be a guy that we're going to be able to count on, possibly in multiple roles, and whether that's starting or out of the bullpen. So you're going to see a lot of guys. Banks Langston's coming back from surgery. Logan White is another guy that's coming back that was out last year. Caden Johns, um, Micah Morris, Caleb Hester. So there's a lot of names. We'll be running a lot of guys out there to pitch, and hopefully we'll be able to determine those roles over the next couple weeks. But us playing 9 inning games, that bullpen is very important, and so I do believe that's going to be a strength for us this year.
It's good. Um, well, Coach, this team obviously, from what I heard, was coming off a really successful fall season. Got to see y'all play UNA earlier in the fall, but uh, what'd you see out of this team in the fall, and how have they built off of that in the off season and the start of the 2025 campaign?
Now, I don't. I hate to compare one team to the next because it's always different with personalities and things like that. But from a talent standpoint, it is a very talented group. Uh, Again, we're able to sign some really good players, some good guys returning, and then you add a couple transfers, and it's just kind of it's been a good mix of what we were able to bring in along with the returning guys from last year. But yeah, definitely we're coming off a great fall. We were able to win a lot of games, uh, and so that just kind of allows some momentum, some excitement for our guys because they see the talent level that we have, and so we are excited about the spring, about the talent that we have. The big thing for us is just like every team, remaining healthy. Uh, we like to play a lot of guys. Uh, we do have 17 position players. We have a roster of 28, which is honestly is probably a little less than some other teams. So it's going to be there's going to be an opportunities for guys to get playing time, and we want to be able to do that. We want to give those guys those opportunities. Number one, to develop, to help them get better, and that's the reason to go to junior college to kind of to get them ready to play at the next level, and also to kind of to see what we have. For us in our league, we could be late in the ball game. The other team brings a left-handed pitcher, out of the bullpen into the game. We want to have some guys, some right-handed hitters coming off the bench that maybe can handle that. So we're trying to find those roles and maybe what guys fit in those situations as well. But the excitement definitely uh, is there, and so definitely the excitement of a home weekend series, playing 4 games. We love playing at Martley Legacy Field here in the Shoals. So the excitement of the home games for our guys is there as well.
Well, Coach, Northwest Shoals over the past 2 seasons has seen several players move on and find opportunities elsewhere to continue their collegiate careers. I know how proud of you are of seeing local players and Patriots alumni finding opportunities to not only continue their collegiate baseball careers, but also continue their academic. Um, well, Coach, it's good to have you on. But real quick, before we get started, I just would like you to maybe give your thoughts about
To the next level.
well, most fans who closely follow Northwest Shoals baseball are probably very familiar with the names Eli Tidwell, Ryan Strachan, Hayes Harrison, etc. But however, there are going to be many new faces and names as we have alluded to earlier in this interview. But um, many new guys and names for fans to become accustomed to. So, who are a few guys that you're expecting to make a big jump and leave an early impression on Patriots fans?
Yeah, we definitely Sam Robertson being one of those. Sam's leading off, playing shortstop for us right now. Sam was at Auburn last year, and he is signed to go play at Jacksonville State for next year. So Sam's definitely a huge piece for us. What he does for us offensively, as well as what he does defensively. So we're asking him to do a lot for us. He's a guy that's going to have an opportunity to play pretty much every day. Really got off to a good start on Thursday down at uh, Pensacola. So he's definitely someone that a lot of people already know about. But once uh, people come in and watch us play, they're going to just recognize his athleticism and everything. Uh, Two freshman catchers that we have, Evan Williams, the left-handed hitting catcher, also plays some outfield for Hillcrest in Tuscaloosa. Uh, he's about 6'4", big, physical, can run, can hit, can throw, just all those things that you're looking for uh, in a player. Cam Palahhatch is also a freshman catcher from Hartselle. Both of those guys competed against each other in the 6A state championship last year. So those are two guys behind the plate that we're going to ask a lot of. Evan Smallwood is another transfer in from Jack State. Uh, Brian Henson is returning. That was good for us as a freshman, but someone that we're definitely going to ask to do a little bit more for us. He signed at Eastern Michigan. Will Turner, that had already mentioned, a left-handed arm um, from Auburn. And then Tyler Wilson, who was here as a red shirt last year, is healthy and a guy that we're gonna ask to do a good bit for us as well. And there's many others that's going to get opportunities, but those are ones just through the fall and even the early part of the spring has played well, and we need those guys to put up some big numbers for us.
Well, Coach, for the first time since the program has been brought back, you now have two assistant coaches heading into the spring season, and Coach Holden and Coach Jones. How has their addition helped you, and what did they bring to the team?
It's there's no way that we can do the things that we do without them. Uh, there's been in junior college, there is just turnover.
Hmm.
Those guys are just like our players are wanting to improve and move on to a higher level. Assistant coaches at this level are want to do the same thing. So over the years, when I was here from 2002 to 2011, it was the same thing. If I was able to keep a guy for 2 to 3 years, that was great. But also, my desire for my assistant coaches is the same that I have for our players, to help them move on, where obviously they can get paid a little bit more and have an opportunity to continue a career in coaching. But Coach Jones and Coach B are great. Uh, just being able to turn some things over to them. Being a head coach, it's like I run a business here, just trying to oversee all the parts of really running the program, uh, and these guys are a big help just with day in and day out practice. They're the age gap between them and the players are a little less than it is between me and the players. And so I understand that, and that's a big piece of it. So both those guys have a great relationship with our players. They've earned the respect of them. They have a ton of knowledge in the game. So, that's definitely a big step that we've been able to take over the past 2 years. He's been able to bring in two guys like Coach Jones and Coach B to kind of help propel our program, because players come here for development, and you need a coaching staff that's going to be able to help the players develop. And those two guys do a great job. Coach Jones, really, he oversees our hitters day in and day out. Works with our infielders. Coach B is with Coach Jones every day with the hitters, and then Coach B works with our outfielders every day. And that just kind of frees me up a little bit to spend a little bit more time with the pitchers. So a great question you're asking that. It's just uh, I can't tell you how big that is to have those guys.
Well, I hate to ask this, but I have to ask it. The NCAA board granted waivers for junior college players in similar positions to Diego Pavia. the Vanderbilt quarterback, which could extend their Division I eligibility. I've heard several coaches and seen many express their concern that this could impact the number of athletes signing with Division I programs directly out of high school. While this is good news for some junior college players, do you have any concerns about how this will affect current JUCO players seeking opportunities at the Division I level? And lastly, how do you feel this impacts the future and growth of the popularity of JUCO baseball and providing another path for athletes coming out of high school?
Right now, I think junior college baseball is as good as it's been in several years.
Hmm.
And definitely some of that has to do with what's going on with the portal, the limitations that Division I baseball is going to have on their roster, and so all that is going to impact uh, junior college athletics. To me, I think in a good way. When that ruling first came out, now, there was a lot of discussions that, you're going to be able to go to junior college and it will not even count against your eligibility, that you're going to be able to go play for a year or two and still have 4 years or eligibility left. And that was really not what the ruling was about. That was specific to that individual. And really what it states is if you're currently playing uh, athletics at the Division I, Division II level, and you played any year of junior college, then that's giving you one more year of eligibility. So the misinterpretation was wrong, but I'm for guys being able to play as long as they want to play.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, saying that, I'm definitely don't believe that you should be 25, 26, playing college athletics. That's just my opinion. I know injuries and different things kind of play into that. Um, but, for me, I think junior college baseball is in a great place. Uh, I think the impact that the roster limitations that they're going to have on Division I, Division II is going to help us. They can't have 45 guys on their roster anymore, which in years past that has been the case. So that means, if you got 45 players on the Division I roster, there's a lot of those guys are not playing.
Hmm.
And if they go to junior college, they're going to get an opportunity to play and develop. So I still think over the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to continue to be some changes. I do think it's unfortunate for the class of 2025 high school guys. Just the opportunities that are available are a little slimmer than maybe some other years. So I think that 25 class is a little difficult for them. But I think junior college is the best place for most guys, whether they want to admit that or not. I think it's a great place to point. I mean, you just see these guys that are transferring from 4-year schools to junior colleges because they did not get to play. We have a couple of guys, that were at Division I schools that got very limited bats. Well, this year they're going to get 200 at bats, and they're going to get an opportunity to play, development, develop, and really see what level that they can get back to. But it is pretty complicated right now about what all that's going to look like uh, moving uh, moving forward. And I really have I'm really mixed on some of that. Uh, I do think some of the things that are being proposed and put into place are good, like the roster limitations and things like that. Uh, and that kind of spreads out the talent to all different levels, whether that's junior college, D3, NAIA, Division II, whatever it may look like. Just helping guys find the right place for them to be able to play. But we'll see, especially over the next year or two, really how some of the changes are going to impact us at the junior college level. But right now, I feel like that we're in a very good place.
Got you. Well, before we close this interview, I'd just like to ask you one quick question. Obviously, we got this upcoming matchup here at home against Lincoln Trail. What should we expect out of the Lincoln Trail Statesmen?
We played them the past 2 years.
Hmm.
Our first year, they beat us 2 out of 3. I think we won game one, that they came back and beat us in the next 2 games. Last year, we won the series against them. So this will be the third year that they've been down here. early in the season to open up. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be big and physical. They'll have some plus guys on the mound. I do definitely know that they have some players on their roster that have already signed with 4-year schools. So it's a great test. Everyone on our schedule is good. That is what I share with everybody. We don't set our schedule up to necessarily win 40 games. Now, we want to win every one of them. But there's no, you don't look at our schedule and say, hey, there's a win, there's a win, there's a win. That's not what it looks like. If we don't play well, we're not going to win. If we do the things that we need to do, the things that we put a lot of focus on, then we'll have an opportunity to win the series. But it's going to be competitive baseball. If you live in the area, I know high school baseball has not started yet. Looks like the weather is going to be great for the weekend. And if you do want to see some good early season baseball, Pat Park would be a great place to hang out this weekend. There's no charge. We'd love to have you out to watch us play.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to calling each and every home game for y'all this season. And I was part of this team, the inaugural baseball team back in 2023. So it's real exciting to see the program continue to improve and get better year in year out under your helm. And I appreciate you doing this interview, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me over the past couple of years.
Yeah. And no, on your end, that's one of the questions. We have guys from all over the state and really all over the southeast, and what you do with the streaming and the broadcasting piece of it that you add to that. Uh, our parents are always very excited because if they're not able to make it in town, they know they're able to watch the game, kind of know what's going on, and well, what you do for us is great for our program. And even, guys that we've signed, guys coming in, it's an opportunity for them and their families to be able to watch us play as well. So it's been a great partnership over the past 2 years, and we appreciate you doing it again for us this year.
Thank you, Coach. That means a lot. But thanks for taking the time, and good luck tomorrow, and good luck for the rest of this season. And go Patriots.
All right, sounds good. Go Patriots.